Good morning. This is Shawn Sanders, and I am here on this Monday morning. I have missed you guys. It has been a long time since I have done a vlog on the road. So, sorry for the shakiness, but you know how it is. So, we are in a new studio. Just in case you really can't tell, I have a new car. It's new to me. So, happy Monday to everyone. I hope you're having a good day. It is a good day here, weather-wise, in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland area. I cannot complain. It is beautiful out here. I am supposed to run 5 miles today, and I do want to run it outside because it is nice. Saturday I was supposed to run 8. I only ran 6 because I had been sick all week, and my stomach was tap dancing, so I decided to turn around. So when I talked to my coach and let him know where I was at the turnaround point, we had agreed that I had ran a respectable 6 miles. So I'm supposed to run 9 miles this Saturday, and I'm supposed to run 5 miles today, but it is nicer than it was Saturday, and I just do not want to miss this opportunity to run outside. I could do it on the treadmill. My stomach isn't hurting, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go outside. So yeah, so like, I've been missing you guys, talking to you guys. You know, I only have one review that I do now, which is Real Housewives of Atlanta. Did you watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta review that I did? I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the episode, so I enjoyed doing the review. It's easy to do a review when you've got material to work with. It's really, really painful to do reviews when it's just, you know, ugh. And guess what, guys? If you have not seen my review, check it out on YouTube. I did it. It's up. And I was live tweeting during that time. Ooh, I'm on crossing the tracks. Look at that. Crossing the tracks. So my thing fell off. So we're going to do it like this. So my tweet was still tweeting. So I did that tweet. I did a tweet on Twitter about Kenya Moore doing her divorce party for Phaedra and Cynthia. And even when I woke up, people were still tweeting my tweet, which was really, really cool. You just never know in the social media world what people are gonna like. And it was really, really a simple tweet, which is, I would go to a Kenya Moore party any day. It looks like fun, and I stand by it because Kenya was trying to have a good time for her girls and make it light. And, you know, obviously looking at next week's episode with Phaedra and all her foolery, you know, she's trying to make it something that it's not. Phaedra, you know, for someone who does a whole bunch of party stuff and has a party for breathing practically, and is so over the top, I thought that you could appreciate at least the gesture. Okay, let's just say that you wasn't in the right headspace, because Cynthia wasn't either. Let's just say, for the sake of where you were at, that you wasn't in the right headspace to do this party. But please, don't even let me think for a second that you, of all people, would not have a party. Okay? And you have parties for silly things, like that sip and see thing. What you need that for? It's supposed to be a Southern thing. I'm not Southern. I'm a Yankee. What do I know? But you're having this sip and see thing. You have a party for anything, and it's grand over the top, and you couldn't appreciate the gesture that Kenya was doing just for you and Cynthia. I mean, Cynthia was at least a good sport. Anyway, so yeah, I got a couple of things that I want to talk about. I'm going to chop it up and then put it in one video. But yeah, that was pretty fun last night. So I have, let's see, I don't have anything else that I'm going to be reviewing at the moment. I did think about some shows that I watch. There's a lot of things that I will watch, but I won't watch consistently, and that's why I haven't really reviewed anything. I have a lot of stuff on my DVR that I never really get to because I get busy, and my evenings, I try as much to get things done that I need to actually get done, work-wise and family-wise. So it just doesn't seem to happen. And again, one of the great things about Sunday, especially with Real Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine, is that it's on a Sunday, and Sunday is really my day. And you know, when you're reviewing shows, you really want to put them up right away. I'm not an established YouTuber, so I can't count on the fact that people are gonna wait for my video. So, you know, I'm still, you know, trying to be consistent, because consistency is important. You know, your subscribers want to see you at a regular time, so I try to put them up pretty quickly. I can't bank on people wanting to stick around if I wait a week and a half to put up a video, or if, say, like the Real Housewives, say like Married to Medicine went out on, you know, Friday, and I wait another week to do it. So, or, you know, like, I mean, I've been watching Scandal, but Scandal's not doing it for me. So, and I really don't want to review Scandal. I'd rather do House of Cards, because I think House of Cards is far more entertaining and has more of a real worldness than Scandal. Scandal is like a nighttime soap opera, and it's, you know, it's getting a little hokey. So, you know, there's a lot of things that I will watch, but I won't review. So I only have one show that I'm reviewing, and it's getting ready to come to a close. But the Real Housewives of OC is coming back on, and the Real Housewives of New York is coming back on. So I'm excited about that. Don't know if anybody wants me to review it. I have watched all the franchises. The only one that I really did not watch on a consistent basis was Potomac, which is coming out soon as well. But that will be one that I will probably watch and not review. I may put it in my reality snack bites if something really kind of, you know, strikes a chord that's worth talking about. But it's not one of the franchises that I can get hyped up on it. I like Sean Bradley's review, since he lives in, you know, Baltimore. I mean, if I still lived in Maryland, I probably could get hype on it a little bit more, because it'd be a little bit more close to home for me. I don't know. Something about the ladies being a little pretentious that really didn't sit well with me. But I did watch it, so I don't know. Anyway, if you have, you know, and I really don't want to review things that other people are reviewing that I don't have a passion for. You know, I did The Apprentice. I enjoyed The Apprentice. It was something different, and I definitely wanted to do it because I wanted to see Portia and see how she was going to do on the show. But if you haven't heard, and it came out a couple of weeks ago, I hadn't spoken about it, that they are canceling The Apprentice. So Arnold Schwarzenegger is not going to be doing it. It was very low ratings, and I really think it had a lot to do with the backlash of our new president. So I think that it left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths with President Trump, and I think, you know, the backlash was that nobody's going to watch The Apprentice. So I enjoyed doing The Apprentice. It gave me a really good boot camp on reviewing, and so I'm very grateful for that, and I'm grateful for all of you that came in with this marathon review. I had to take 2 hours of material and shrink it down. To try to shrink it down, I wanted to always stay under 45 minutes. But you guys hung in there with me, and as long as you guys were hanging in, I was going to review it. So, you know, it was all good for me. And I got a lot of good views out of that. So I'm very grateful for that. So I have no idea what I'm going to review. Although I do kind of want to review New York. But again, it just all depends on the day, because I don't know. I just don't know. So put it down in the comments what you guys would like for me to do. Hopefully it's not something that I'm not interested in, or something that is so far behind that I can't catch up and watch. So yeah, so that's all for that. But I was watching hi.
We're the clinic right here on 61st.
Oh, okay.
And we take everybody regardless of their insurance or ability to pay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And we're on 5th Avenue too, but this is close.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Right,
I can use
have a
it.
great day.
You as well. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're dressed up.
No. It's a Monday. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look professional.
Okay. Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you. Not sure I'm gonna edit it out, but hey, that's what it is. So I lost my train of thought. I don't even know what I'm gonna say now. All right, so I'm back, and I told you I'm gonna chop this up because I'm just kind of rambling. I'm on the road back and forth. So this was bugging me. We're gonna do some reality show chit chat. And this was bugging me. You know, on the Real Housewives of Atlanta last night, sorry for the shaking, Kenya was saying how Phaedra wanted to deify her. And I know that wasn't the word she was looking for, because even Phaedra was like, deify? Like, I don't think so. And, you know, that's more like, you know, worship her. That's not what she was trying to say. And I was like, what is she trying to say? And I couldn't think about it, so I didn't bring it up during the review. But then when I woke up, I was like, vilify. Vilify. That's the word you were looking for, Kenya. That you wasn't going to have Phaedra vilify you. Make you a villain. So I totally get that. And so, yeah, deify is not what she was wanting to say. That's what came out. But that is not what she wanted to say. She wanted to say vilify. So I was thinking about that. And then I was watching Sean doing his video earlier. It wasn't his review. He was doing just kind of a commentary about stuff on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And he was telling me, telling us about all about the tea. Well, I don't know if they have just a blog, but I do know that they have a YouTube channel. And I checked out all about the tea. And oh my gosh, they have this video of Matt on talking. Now, I don't know if he was on like Snapchat or you know, Facebook Live or Periscope. I have no idea. But it was quite insightful. He was spilling some tea. One of which that we are not surprised, since everybody's doing spoiler alerts, I figured I have one of my own. So go check out All About the Tea on YouTube, and you can watch the whole video in its entirety. It's quite long. It's about 20 minutes or so. But some highlights on that. He does talk about Peter and Todd kind of ghosting him, where he thought they were cool, he thought that he was establishing a rapport, and that he thought he was in the group, and somewhere along the line, you know, nobody was returning his phone calls, Todd wasn't doing it, Peter, you know, kind of turned his back on, and, you know, in and of itself, he was thinking, you know, I wasn't trying to be naive about it, but you know, essentially he was saying, I expect you to honor your word. I wouldn't offer anything, because like evidently Todd was offering, you know, let's do something with fitness, as if he's had enough of partnering with someone on fitness videos. But evidently he was trying to extend a hand out to him about doing something fitness wise, and that didn't pan out like he thought it would. And you know, Peter was, you know, telling, look, man, you're a guest of mine at my club, and somehow or another that didn't turn out right. But you know, he didn't think that he was being naive. He thought that people were being honest with what they had to say, and he's like, listen, if you can't do it because, you know, your wife's not into this, you know, because evidently, as we know that during the season so far, Kandi and Kenya have been cool, you know, and they've been getting along. So, you know, do we know the backstory? No, we're just knowing what Matt is talking about. He was talking about how Peter and Todd were trying to school him on game about getting some money, which you probably heard around in the blogs, but evidently Matt has been banned from the reunion, which could have gotten him a cool 10K. I don't know how accurate that is, but that is what he said. And you know, he's on the outside. He's a viewer right now. He's a viewer just like us, because he doesn't know what went on. And the video is very, very interesting. I don't know how to feel about Matt, because Matt is not 20. Matt is in his early 30s, and I would think that if nothing else, he would be a little savvy on life. And that I understand that this is a whole, you know, the reality show celebrity genre is something new and something that you have to get your footing in, and that maybe he probably accepted this group to be something that they couldn't be, and that everyone is protecting their own interests. I mean, that's the bottom line. Everyone is protecting their own interests. So but he had a lot to say, and you know, why wouldn't you think that Matt would not be banned? I mean, Kenya is a commodity on the Atlanta Housewives, and of course Andy is not going to do anything that's going to, one, mess up his money, mess up his brand, and he's not going to do anything that could potentially, that he can't control. You know, what we see with the producers out there on the cameras between the ladies is one thing, but you know, this, when we do the reunion, this is his camp. And I really do not think, especially since Matt has been volatile, we don't know what he is capable of doing. And of course, if Kenya is not going to feel comfortable, all she has to do is say, I'm not sitting in the same space, and he's going to oblige that. So, you know, would it be interesting if Matt was there? I'm going to tell you this, as far as reunion, because we all have heard about this issue about, you know, allegedly Portia sleeping with Apollo. Listen, if Andy could get a cell block prison call, you know, even between glass, you know, like they do on Dateline in 2020, if Andy could get a sit down one-on-one with Apollo, or a recorded phone call, no holds barred, of Andy asking Apollo all the questions we want to know. If he could ask them all the questions and he would answer all the questions about what's going on, oh my God, that would be so golden. That would be totally golden. That would be golden beyond belief. If Andy could get a cell block interview. Ooh, he was like, listen, I talked to Apollo. In fact, I even saw Apollo. And here is a recording of our interview. Take a look. Oh my, I would be here for it. I would be totally here for it. Now, would he do the same thing with Matt and do a sit down one-on-one? Possibly. That's possible. That's possible. It would be interesting. It would be interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to watch. I mean, so anyway, so that was really telling about Matt. So, spoiler alert, Matt is not going to be on Bravo because he didn't even know. He found out like everybody else when the taping was going to happen. So obviously he was not going to be going. He was not invited. So he is doing a lot of talking because he doesn't have the Bravo platform to spill all his tea. So he's going on social media to do that. So, interesting. Now, this whole thing with Phaedra and divorcing, and of course we know somehow or another they're going to phase in the new girlfriend / fiance of Apollo. There's only like 3 more episodes, I believe, before they actually do the reunion. So this almost seems a little anticlimactic, putting in Apollo's girlfriend / fiance into the script, because we're not going to really see that play out. So I'm not sure if that is even good. It's almost like we're gonna throw that in there, and we're not really gonna see how that kind of organically plays out. So that'll be interesting how they get all that, because Maui has been a long drawn out few episodes, and of course we had the Oscars that was preempted a week. So you know, I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. It'll be interesting to see how that happens. And then I was thinking about something that Sean Bradley had mentioned in his video about the Real Housewives. And you know, Atlanta has not been the franchise that shows money. Like the ladies, none of them had an excessive amount of money. Like we don't watch those housewives for the money. We, you know, they did have a fun sense of camaraderie. Everybody had their own identity that as a viewer you could kind of identify with, and then we watched them have fun together and watch them kind of throw shade, which was unlike the other franchises. You know, the way the ladies in Atlanta interacted, none of the other franchise ladies do it. New York is getting better at it, but they have, you know, it's almost like high society shade. It's not, you know, gutter shade. You know, if there is, you know, if there's levels to this. So but Atlanta had its own flavor, which was unlike any of the other franchises. So you know, we can all agree, if we want opulence and luxury and we want to see them on a yacht, we're gonna have to look for Beverly Hills, because you know, Vanderpump and oh gosh, the one who was married to the plastic surgeon, she was co-owner of one of the basketball teams, and they lived across the street from each other. They had serious money. You know, their homes were serious estates. And, you know, the one thing that I would say the Atlanta ladies have not done the best job in, with the exception of Kandi, is really capitalize on their notoriety and establishing their brand and building their brand, and jumping everything off to, you know, using Bravo and using the show to be a catalyst for whatever they're trying to move. And Kandi, out of all the housewives, next to Teresa has also been very good at it, using her name and using who she is and monopolizing that, or capitalizing that into money for herself. Teresa has done a good job, and Kandi has done a good job. You know, anything Kandi thinks that can turn into money, because she knows, you know, she hasn't been in the limelight for a very long time, you know, and she knows that this is fleeting. She's going to ride this until the wheels fall off. And until then, she is making sure she has multiple streams of income. She's bringing her family and friends on it. She's like, you need to get some of this money while I'm getting some of this money, and we're gonna make it do what it do. And she even, baby Ace gonna have a 1099. He's gonna be making more money than some of us, most of us, on between his Instagram page and all that stuff. She's gonna make sure he's got 1099 at the end of the year. He's gonna have his own little accountant, for his little money he's gonna make. Anybody that can turn something into money, which makes me mad about Sheree. Now, Sheree was breaking down with Bob and talking about all this stuff, and he put her through financial hell, and I can only imagine what that is. Here you are, a football wife, and then you go from being a football wife to being almost destitute in some ways. As far as your quality of life and a standard of living that you might have lived as married to a football player. And Sheree, especially when Sheree was hot in the beginning of the franchise of Atlanta. Why didn't she market herself? Now, here she touting these "Who's Gonna Check Me Boo" shirts when she had the biggest asset that she could have done before Kenya, before Phaedra. Sheree should have been making money with her body through fitness. And this chat told Sheree she would have had this up years ago. Now, a while ago, I think Candy might have been on the show maybe about 2 or 3 seasons, and she was mentioning I think this is when she was, it might be later, it was one when she was doing the specials where she was she had the spinoff with her Finding Talent. And she was saying that she was trying to find ways that she could make money, because she says, in this reality show, you can make a lot of money through appearances. She says it's not uncommon to just go to places, go from city to city, and, make $10,000 just for an appearance. So I'm thinking to myself, on the height of Sheree's, of the Housewives, which was a high rated show, even back then, why didn't Sheree capitalize going to fitness expos? Why didn't she get herself an agent that could have said, listen, let's market this? She could have easily been on the cover of Health and the fitness magazines, Oxygen magazine. She has the physique. She could have been lending her celebrity to all of the fitness and figure expos. I mean, people would have spent good money to see her. She could have just hit the junket of that, and then she could have been a celebrity trainer as far as teaching a class, and people would have flocked to see her. I don't understand why she didn't capitalize. And then while she's touting these "Who's Gonna Check Me Boo" shirts, she could have easily been in the cute little let's do some. I have so many, if you watch me on Instagram, I have lots of shirts that have strong is the new skinny, keep calm and go to the gym. Ladies love those tagline types of shirts. She could have come with a whole bunch of different tagline shirts that were cute and feminine, that could work out. She could have partnered with any kind of athletics. So why didn't she try to get some kind of sponsorship or a Skechers commercial, something? Why couldn't she have been a spokesmodel for something? I don't understand why Sheree didn't capitalize on that and make that work for her, so she wouldn't have to work so hard, that we hadn't seen her in 3 seasons. And when they have a little trunk show, she's got "I'll take a picture and charge it" and "Who's Gonna Check Me Boo" shirts. I'm not understanding that. And Sheree is not a young lady. Like, I'm not understanding who is in her camp that couldn't have shown her what she needed to do to have an angle where she could have been doing stuff. Look, I mean, you're not going to tell me with the money that she made, she could have gotten a Planet Fitness franchise or something, and then that would have been even better. You own your Planet Fitness, you put it in a corporation, you know it's yours, but it's not in your name, and then you come in and be the celebrity trainer, you know, teach a class and stuff, and she could have made so much money. She could have made so much money. Shoot, I would have thought, even, you know, even with The Biggest Loser or something, when they have like celebrity people come in, she could have been great for that. Like, I'm not understanding why she didn't capitalize on that and made her money and would have been golden right now, instead of, you know, still struggling trying to get the Chateau thing up. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that, because I'm not understanding Sheree's business strategy. Like, did she not have a vision about how she could bankroll and cash in on this? Because, you know, if you look at the other franchises, you know, the ladies who like to drink wine are toting wine. You know, everybody that does things as a given, you know, everyone who are into fashion is doing their fashion. So it just makes sense that Sheree is a fit woman, especially fit woman who's in her 40s. There is so many ladies that would have loved to have had a one-on-one counseling. I mean, AJ Johnson, who was an actress, she's still an actress. She has made, I mean, Google AJ Johnson. I mean, the Baby Boy is the last movie I remember her in. Man, she has totally turned that around in the fitness world. I mean, she is huge in the fitness world. She's got a body to die for, and she is all about lifestyle and holistic eating and taking care of your body. And I mean, AJ Johnson is making a killing in the fitness game, and I don't understand why Sheree couldn't have capitalized on that. I don't understand. So if you got any thoughts about that, let me know. So let's talk about Cynthia for a moment. And I was really feeling Cynthia during the Real Housewives Maui trip. Cynthia is on a short fuse and is like, I'm not here for the BS. And I totally feel that. You know, Cynthia just turned 50, and maybe you got this, you know, insight early, but there comes a time, especially when you start getting older, that, especially for women, that you just don't have the patience or the tolerance for all the crazy catty chaos and BS. And it's like, if it's not adding to my life, if you're not adding to my life, you've got to go. Because the truth of the matter is that there is a realization, whether it's spoken or unspoken, that on the sands of the hourglass, you have more sand at the bottom than you do at the top. So, you know, it's starting to happen that you're starting to see that sand of time that is resting on the bottom, and there isn't much going on at the top. You know, that's fleeting. And so you really start to declutter a lot about your life, people in your life, things that you accept in your life, the stuff in your life. And who knows, I think with the reflection of her marriage ending with Peter, and, you know, thinking about what she will accept and what she won't accept, that kind of, you know, pours out in other aspects of your life. So I'm not surprised that Cynthia really just didn't have the patience for everything, and time is too short to be dealing with people who are lying on you and stuff. And I really felt her being like, I'm out of here, and I'm going to be ghost to the BS. That I it really felt real to me. So I totally get that, because it's one of the gifts that God gives you when you start getting up there in age, in your 40s, in your 50s. Maybe you start feeling it in your 30s if you're lucky. But she just turned 50, and she's like, I'm not trying. I mean, I don't know how much time I have on this earth, and I want good, positive light to be part of my existence and in my space. So I totally get that. I get you on that. Totally get you on that, Cynthia. Because I'm there. I am there. Not 50 yet, just around the corner. But I get you. Totally get that. Okay, so I'm not delusional. I know that Sheree has delusions of grandeur, and she thinks she's bigger than what she really is. And so let's just say, for the sake of argument, she didn't get as far as she could have because her attitude is less than desirable. She is in the TV industry. She is in an industry where it is a lot about who you know, and it's a lot about who you make connections with. And I'm just gonna go by what I see on TV. I remember when she was taking acting classes and she thought she was Meryl Streep. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't think that you can aim high, but when you only had a couple of acting classes, most of us is not going to be Oscar worthy. We're going to go through the chain, and I can say that from my own experience. You start at the bottom and you work your way up, and you get more experience, and you get to know directors and producers and all that. And I would even say that her working on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I mean, there are a lot of TV guys and producers and executive producers and all that may not put word of mouth in favor of Sheree. I would assume that maybe earlier she wasn't always fun to deal with. I get that vibe from her. So I would say that she could have gotten some commercials, or even something that would give her some capital with her name. And there were definitely early on in the Real Housewives, she had people who really liked her. And you've got to, it's lightning in the bottle. You got to get it where you can, and you don't know when your time is going to end. But I also know that in this industry, it is about who you know. It is about your reputation, that a lot of people know who you are long before you meet them. And if you give any vibe as far as being difficult to work with, people don't want to work with you. We're talking about, commercials, TV, movie, all that whole industry is all about time and money. And people want to work with people who they can trust and who they can rely on. And that's why you'll see certain actors circulate that have built themselves on reliability. I mean, think about it. Even Robert Downey Jr., who I have a huge crush on, I have been a fan of his since Less Than Zero. No one has anything in the industry bad to say about Robert Downey Jr., even when he had major drug issues. Everyone said that he was a joy to work with. And until he really got sober, I mean, he had a huge insurance on him because he was a liability because of his drug use. But people were willing to pay for it because even during the height of his drug addiction, he was reliable. And when he was on Ally McBeal and he was in the depths of his drug addiction, that reluctantly they had him leave. And, you know, he went to jail by that time. And everybody, the cast, the crew, the director, everybody wanted Robert Downey Jr. And that's a testament to him being a professional. Now, his personal life was in shambles, but as a professional, he was always someone that you could count on. And that's why he's box office royalty even now. I mean, the Iron Man franchise has done really well. So, you know, Sheree could take a page off of the people who have done well. And this, you know, that the TV industry is a small industry, and personality and attitude is everything. It's probably something that she can work on, but hey, you know, people can only do what they can do. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about everything. I've been rambling all day. I'm gonna make it all nice, and I'm gonna upload it, and just let me know. But you know, it's been good talking to you guys. It's been good talking to you guys. Not gonna probably talk again until Sunday, Real Housewives of Atlanta. If there's a topic you want me to talk about, let me know. I am trying to do a hair video. I have been requested many times to do a hair video, and I am going to try to do it. It's not going to be pretty, y'all. So as long as you're okay with that, I am going to do my best to do a hair video and upload that. Yeah, so that's it. So it is the evening, and I am not going to run the 5 miles because it's raining now, and I'm just not going to do it. And I'm tired. So yeah, I'll have to get up early in the morning and run in the morning. So take care of yourself and each other. I hope you enjoyed this video. You have a wonderful evening with your friends and family. Take care. Bye.